Hey gut feelers! Today we're going to talk about sinus problems and what the real cause is of sinus problems, and then I give you 3 simple things that you can integrate into your daily life to finally get rid of any kinds of sinus congestion, sinus pain, of all the sneezing, chronic infection that you have in the sinus. My name is Peggy from peggyschimmer.com. Welcome to Gut Feelings, the channel to support you to become your own health expert so you know what's happening inside your body and help your body to heal itself so you have all the energy to bring your gifts into the world. Now guys, this video is for you. I've got many requests all around sinus, what to do if the weather changes and you get the sinus pain, you feel like your nose is blocked, you get headaches because everything is swollen and just congested, or you just are one of these people who don't go out of the house without tissue. Actually, this video is close to my heart. I really feel for you if you have any sinus issues. I suffered from allergies for 15 years and I never went out of the house without a tissue. And now I needed to use a thing for the kitchen because I don't have any tissues anymore. You know, I don't remember when I last used a tissue for my nose. And that's something I wish for you too. And that's why I made this video, because if you understand what's really happening there, what's the real cause of this congestion, of you not being able to breathe in the night or during the day, then you can also heal. And it's not going to be difficult. And second, it's going to have a benefit, a positive impact on the whole body of yours, not only on your sinus. So I've structured this video in 2 parts for you. First, we're going to talk about the real cause of sinus issues, of sinus problems, and then I'm going to give you the 3 tips, what you can do right now. I recommend them to implement them for 1 week to see major improvements, if not feeling completely relieved from your sinus problems. Before we jump into that, I have a question for you. So what do you think? What is the main cause? What's the main problem in your body? Why do you have these sinus problems? Why do you have these sinus issues? 1, 2, 3. Often it's not the first thing that we think of that it is, because mainstream's telling us, okay, you have this blocked sinus, you need to take antibiotics, things like that. You need to push your immune system, make that stronger. And while this is not bad, it's not really addressing the real cause, because the real cause has to do with one very interesting and very important organ in your body, and that is your liver. Yeah, this big organ, the biggest storage organ in the body. This organ is so essential for any types of chronic issues, and also if you want to heal your chronic sinus issues, your sinus problems. So regarding the cause of sinus problems, there are 2 things. So first, we have a congested liver. Yeah, the liver that is overburdened with toxins, with pathogens, with medical residue, all the antibiotics, everything that we took, anti-baby pill, really bad for the liver, all the toxins in our food. Yeah, even if you take any kinds of supplements, they often contain heavy metals, like if you take fish oil, for example, can't recommend that. And then of course the environmental toxins, the amount of stress that you are experiencing, yeah, adrenaline is also very toxic for the liver if that's released on a constant base. Eating high fat foods and high protein foods can be very damaging for the liver as well, especially if you already have an overburdened liver. Yeah, and all these things, they come together, and often we are born already with a liver that is impaired because of our ancestors. It has nothing to do with our genes. Yeah, don't fall in this kind of our genes are responsible for our chronic illnesses. That's not the case. It's about what we take from our ancestors through our bloodline, which gets stored in our liver already. Toxins, viruses like Epstein-Barr, and we have heavy metals that we have in our body already before we are actually born. I know for myself, for example, my father died from a brain tumor when I was 14. My mother has multiple sclerosis. My grandmother has multiple sclerosis. I have a very, let's say, sick family. And I know for myself, I need to take care of my liver. I need to take care of my body and really flush these toxins out, because I have a lot of toxic load on my body. So the 2 causes. The first cause for sinus problems is the liver, yeah, overburdened liver. And then the second one, and they go together, is a bacteria, and that's Streptococcus. And not any Streptococcus, there are different strains of Streptococcus. It's a resistant strain of Streptococcus, which sits here in the sinus. It's also stored in your liver and in your lymphatic system, yeah, which is connected here through the lymph system and then also drains through the liver. So we have a connection there between the liver, the lymphatic system, and the bacteria Streptococcus. And again here, when people talk about sinus infection, yes, it's a sinus infection, but this infection has nothing to do with something that we just picked up. Against Streptococcus, this bacteria, we often have the first contact when we are very, very young, early childhood, or then kindergarten. Think about all these childs with strep throat, then you have your school days. Yeah, all these viruses, all these bacteria, that's the time when we pick them up usually. And that's nothing bad, you know, we all have viruses and bacteria in our body. The problem then starts with taking antibiotics. If you have really chronic issues here with your sinus, you have a lot of swelling, you maybe even get really dizzy, you have headaches, you can't sleep, believe me, I had all of that, then often what doctors do, because they just mean well, you know, they don't know any better, they give you antibiotics. That might first release a bit the situation because it's bacteria an issue, yeah, it's Streptococcus, often in combination then with a supra infection from other bacteria that is not so harmful. And then you knock down some bacteria, apart from really damaging your liver and overburden your liver more, destroying your gut bacteria. Yeah, antibiotics, they're really bad for our body and just really needed in like really life-threatening situations. So what happens then, you take the antibiotics and basically you make the strep bacteria, it gets stronger and stronger. They grow inside your tissue. Yeah, so they are deep inside the sinus, they are deep inside the liver. You're not able to detect them with blood tests because they're not just swimming around there in the bloodstream. They're in the tissue, they're also in the gut, in the spleen, in the pancreas, and then they grow stronger and they grow colonies. So guys, before you get scared now, it's not too late to heal from strep. The first thing is already understanding that this is not genetics. Yeah, I had a friend who told me that everybody in their family has a running nose, like constantly. They always run around with their tissues, everybody in their family. Isn't that interesting? And then of course you get told, that's just genetics. But actually it's not, and you can definitely heal from that. So now go to the second part of this video, 3 things to do to get rid of strep, to get rid of these sinus problems. So this video is really for the gut feelers who want to change something, who want to understand their body and then get out there, do the steps that are necessary and just really feel this relief because it's possible. And these 3 things we're going to talk about now, they are all working in the direction of helping your liver to detox, helping to flush out the toxins, all the medical residue that is in there, and really help to decongest the liver. So the liver can take better care of cleansing your lymph, which is flowing towards the liver, and helping you just get rid of the strep infection as well. As the major cleansing organ, this is the organ we need to focus on. And the second thing we are working towards is to knock down the strep. To break off these colonies that are here in the sinus, in the liver, in the gut. Knock them down and stop feeding them. Certain foods are feeding these strep and we need to avoid them for the time being while we're knocking down this bacteria and really releasing that out of our body. So here are the 3 things what to do. The first important thing is to boost our nutritional status, because our body doesn't need any medications to be healed. Our body just needs us to support it to work its best and stop feeding any pathogens in our body, and then the body will heal itself. That's what it's meant to be. Our body's never ever working against us. If people are talking about autoimmune diseases or that your body's attacking itself, the best thing you can do is just shut your ears, because you are damaging your body just by thinking about that, and it's really not true. It's about we haven't understood yet how our body works, and if traditional medicine doesn't understand anything, it's autoimmune, it's self-attacking, things like that. So please don't just take that for granted and keep an open mind. There's so much more to discover about the body. So boosting our nutritional status, how can we do that? Foods. Foods are important. With this one, I mean, if you're really serious about that, I give you 1 thing to do. That's the best remedy to knock down strep, help your liver to cleanse, to improve your digestion as well, to clear up your mind, lower the congestion here. It's caused by an inflammation. That's the best thing to do. It's not very common and it might sound a bit strange, and it might even take you a few moments in the morning to prepare that, but it's the best remedy I can give you. If you try that out, I can guarantee you, if you put these 3 steps that I'm sharing with you, if you put them for 1 week into action, you're either going to have no sinus issues at all after that week, or you're going to at least feel a major improvement. So what's this thing I'm talking about? Here it is, celery. 1 thing to do, with number 1 is to drink every morning 1 bunch of celery juiced through the juicer, put a whole bunch of celery in there, 800 grams of celery to 1 kilo of celery in the juicer. Juice that and then drink the juice. You want to have that concentrated medicine and drink it immediately, plain, without any addition. No water, no other fruits or vegetables in there. On an empty stomach in the morning first thing, and then wait half an hour before you eat anything else or you drink anything else. This is heaven for your body. It tastes salty. It's not really like a super fancy perfect morning drink. I admit that. I personally hate celery juice. I do it anyway because it works. It heals your body. It's the best rejuvenation process that you can do with your body, and it helps your sinus problems. Just really zero. I give you a challenge, do that for 1 week, and then you can reevaluate if that's something you want to continue. I highly recommend you that because the liver needs some time to cleanse. Also, the strep is there for decades in our body that needs some time to knock that down. Celery juice is the best thing you can do. Then for more nutritional basis, of course, eat more fresh greens, eat more fruits, anything that is whole and alive and comes from nature, plant-based foods, great. Best remedy ever, celery juice. The second one, and this is really key, you can do all the celery juice in the world, but if you don't do the second one, it's not going to have the major effect you want it to have because you knock down the strep, and then the second one you feed the strep again. So really, really important here, the second one is to avoid foods that feed pathogens in your body. 3 major foods you need to avoid if you want to get rid of your sinus issues, and that is dairy products, nothing around dairy products, eggs, and gluten. Gluten, this is wheat, rye, any kinds of bread. Also corn. Corn is actually also, it doesn't contain gluten, but it also feeds strep. So all of these 3, dairy products, eggs, and gluten, they are not bad in by itself. Just don't get me wrong, I'm not like, I hate eggs or anything like that. If somebody ate 200 years ago an egg, there's no problem for the body. But nowadays, we have so many pathogens in our body, especially resistant strains of strep that grow stronger and stronger with every medication, with every antibiotics that we took. Also our ancestors that took antibiotics, they get stronger there. So this strep really built up over decades, over generations. There are certain foods, unfortunately, the foods that we eat the most of, that feed pathogens in our body that create mucus. That's what you have here also in your sinus and in the gut. Mucus that create inflammation, because when you feed these pathogens, bacteria, they also excrete something, and this excretion is waste matter, and that's highly toxic for the body, even more toxic than the strep in and by itself. So that can be a dermatoxin or neurotoxin. I don't want to get into that because it's pretty complicated, but just know that avoiding eggs, dairy, and gluten is really important to stop feeding the real root cause in your sinus here, the strep. Now guys, I know this is a challenge because these foods are so common in our diet, but if you're serious about that and the suffering is strong enough, I highly recommend you make that step. Try it out for a week and you're going to see improvements, and then it's much easier to stay away from these foods and find alternatives. So, second thing, avoiding foods that feed streptococcus that we talked about, eggs, dairy, gluten. And now the third thing, and this is an additional step if you want to speed up the healing. And these are 2 supplements that I recommend. First thing is zinc. This is the actual only zinc that I can recommend you. This is zinc sulfate liquid. You have it like that. And from this zinc sulfate, I recommend you the first 3 days, you're going to take 5 drops with food, never on an empty stomach, it's too strong. And then after these 3 days, you take 10 drops, also with food, because we don't want to overwhelm the body with zinc. Now what zinc does, zinc is one of the best killers of strep, one of the best sinus decongestors. It helps your liver also to be able to rebuild its cells. Often we have a lot of scar tissue in the liver, and zinc here is a trace mineral that we don't have enough in our soil anymore. So we are not actually able to get enough zinc. Even if you eat celery the whole day, there is some zinc in there, but it's just not enough. And it's one of the best virus and bacteria killers. Actually, when you're on travels, it's awesome as well. I just take a little sip of water like this in my mouth, and then I have 1, 2, 3 drops of zinc when I'm in an airplane, so I don't get sick while I'm traveling. In the plane, people are coughing, people are sneezing, there's a lot of viral and bacterial load in the air, and you might feel sleep deprived, which lowers your immunity as well. There might be stress happening because of the rushes, how do I get to the plane? So zinc there is also awesome if you travel to protect yourself from getting sick. But for sinus issues, best way to really boost your immune system, help the white blood cells as well to regenerate itself quicker. So zinc, highly recommended. So now, why do I recommend this one? I did a video about what's the best zinc supplement. I linked that in the end screen here for you and also in the description below. Because zinc, if you don't take the right supplement, can actually damage your body because it's too strong and it's not in a form that the body can work with. This zinc, however, zinc sulfate, is what naturally occurs in foods. So in foods like, for example, celery, that the body can actually absorb. So the supplements that you take need to be in a form that the body can work with a high bioavailability. That's why I recommend this one. And in liquid form, make also sure whatever zinc supplement you take that there are not any additives. You don't want alcohol, which damages the liver, or any kinds of additives, maybe with corn or GMO. That's the first supplement I recommend, zinc sulfate, liquid zinc sulfate from Good State. And then I link that in the description below if you want to get that. And the second one is vitamin C. Now, vitamin C, all of you know, supports the immune system, is great for draining your lymphatic system, also of toxins, getting them out. And what it also does, and this is like a key here for our sinus infections, if there's the swelling because of the inflammation, it lowers rapidly inflammation in the body. Not only in your sinus, but here it helps to decongest. In the gut, it helps to lower the inflammation so you can digest foods better, you have less bloating in case that's something you're struggling with as well. And again here with vitamin C, it's great to eat a lot of grapefruits, a lot of oranges, a lot of kiwi, pineapple, things like that. That's awesome. And then in addition, if you want to speed up the process, use a vitamin C that is in a bioactive form. There are two things that I recommend. One is Liposomal C. I also did a video about what's the best vitamin C supplement, I link that below. Liposomal C or Ester C, and these both are in a form that the body can work with. Again, more information about that in the new video down below. So guys, these are the 3 things to do, for you, practical. Now, if you put them into action, you drink your celery juice every morning, really on an empty stomach, you stop eating dairy products and eggs and gluten for 1 week, and really look at any kinds of packages you're buying because they're often in there just everywhere. Really important to look there. And then the third one, to speed up the healing process, using zinc sulfate and one type of a bioactive form of vitamin C. Guys, if you do this, I give you my word that your sinus problems is gonna be either completely gone or at least majorly improved, but there's no way you're not gonna feel better after doing this. And that's a way to feel, like to know, understand what happens inside your body and really understand what the cause is and that you are on the healing path. And for me personally, suffering from like this swollen nose and running around with the tissue all the time, feeling tired and just exhausted, this was one of the main benefits that I got, knowing that these things work and that I'm on the path because the symptoms started improving. Now guys, if you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up right now and hit the subscribe button below so we can stay in touch throughout these videos and we can support each other to become our own health expert and really share our knowledge as well in the comments below. Let me know what you think about these tips, how they worked for you. Share your knowledge and your expertise in the comments below, or even your questions. Hit the subscribe button and like the video so to help others find the video better on YouTube. Thank you guys for watching. I see you in the next video and happy healing. I know you can do it. I believe in you. It's absolutely possible to get rid of your sinus issues and your sinus problems.